Now we'll start painting Pete the cat. So the material you'll use is watercolor. If you want to use pencils or crayons, that's fine too. I'll cover my surface with a piece of paper before I start painting. I have a jar of water and a palette where I can mix the paints and a piece of paper to check my colors. So I'll start with black, but I'm mixing a little bit of blue in black to make it a little lighter. So when I'm painting, I'll start from the top so I will have space to put my hand on the paper. And I will try to keep the paint inside the lines. And since it's watercolor, it will get lighter and lighter as we keep painting. In watercolors, when you add more water, the color gets lighter. If you add less water and more pigment, the color gets darker. So I'll continue with the face of the cat. I'll leave the spaces for the eyes and the nose, and I'll color the whole face. I will use the edge of the brush to keep the paint inside the lines. And I'm painting slowly and nicely so the color stays inside the space that I'm painting. Sometimes when we are painting large areas like the body of the cat, we can use the technique of painting wet on wet. That is a technique when you wet your paper with plain water loaded in the brush, and then the second layer is painted with the paints. So this is what I'll do with the cat's body. I'll wet the sheet of paper with plain water, and then I'll paint with black paint that helps glide the paint smoothly over the surface of the paper. When painting the smaller areas, make sure you're using a smaller brush. For larger areas, you can use a bigger brush. Another thing to remember is don't put your hand on the wet paint while painting. So you can move your paper around and make sure your hand is not touching the wet paint. Now for the shoes, I'm going to use three basic colors. So you can use any other color you like, but I'm using red, blue, and yellow for the shoes, and maybe white or brown for the fourth shoe. When done with the shoes, then make sure you paint the background, the sky, blue sky, and the green grass. When we're finished with the background, we will add some details to finish off the drawing. So I'm just tracing around the shoes and adding the whiskers and some outline around the eyes and nose for some final touches. Once you are finished with your painting, make sure you clean up. So you need to wash your brush with soapy water, clean up your palette. If it's not connected with your paints, then you can wash it. Otherwise, just wipe it. And you need to spill the water in the sink and save your paper for the next class. Have fun painting.